How has Yakwa changed me? Well, I started out at Yakwa very many moons ago as a prac student. I didn't really know anything about youth work, and Craig at the time took a punt and gave me a project, the WA Youth Awards, very many years ago. And since then, I guess Yakwa has been a part of my DNA as a youth worker. It's shaped who I became as I moulded myself around the principles of youth work, which I knew before working here were designed, or partly designed, with Yakwa. So ever since then, I've had a yearning to speak for people that can't speak for themselves. I think one of Yakwa's philosophies is there's no real bad eggs, it's just bad situations that happen to good people. And when young people are so disenfranchised that they're not a part of the system which surrounds them, it's good to have people like Yakwa that make sure that you can stand up for them and speak on their behalf.
So my first memory of Yakwa was at a Yep Crew training session on a Saturday morning, and a few people were running late because I think they had big evenings the night before. And so while we were making up some time in the beginning, Myra quite seriously was like, I have a video to show you guys. And then she proceeded to play Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. It was my first introduction to that song, and it was a really great day. As a young person, I love working with other young people through my work volunteering with the Yep project, and I really like to interact with other young people who I probably wouldn't have met otherwise. It's a really great experience.
So my first professional experience at Yakwa was when I was training to be a youth worker, and I was really lucky that through Yakwa I got the opportunity to connect with youth workers who'd been in the field for a long time, who had some really great experience, and that really brought me up as a youth worker. It helped me to understand my practice and to connect with social justice and to really get a sense of what the meaning behind the work that we were doing was. So my guess is that my dad was involved in the development of Yakwa at about the same time that he was involved in the development of me. So I was born in 1980, the same year that Yakwa came along as well. So we've kind of grown up together.
I guess how Yakwa's work has impacted on me would be definitely in a number of really significant ways. My work at Yakwa with the Yep project was my first real job, and I kind of fell into it through the volunteering that I was doing at the time. And I guess through the 4 years that I worked at Yakwa, I became so much more aware of the issues that young people face and the work that the youth sector did, and I suppose the opportunities and experiences that I had at Yakwa made it really clear to me that this is the type of work that I wanted to do, and I felt really passionate about, and I felt that I belonged working in the youth sector. So something that I'm still doing now and I'm still really passionate about, and I'm really, I guess, fortunate, and I feel very grateful to have had that experience through Yakwa that I don't feel I would have got anywhere else necessarily. Yeah. So my first memories of Yakwa would be when I went for my interview for the Yep project, and I remember wearing thongs to my interview and walking along this long corridor when Yakwa was on Hay Street in West Perth and thinking this might not be appropriate for any other situation other than interviewing for a youth sector job. And that same week when I was successful and started working at Yakwa, I remember catching the bus with Craig and another staff member at the time, Emma, and Craig heckling me the whole bus ride in my first week, saying, you need to think of ideas for pranks that we can play on the EO Lisa, like you need to come up with some good pranks. And I was thinking, oh, I'm really new to Yakwa, I don't know if this is what we do, or should I be siding with Craig, or should I be, I guess, defending Lisa. So that was probably one of my first memories in my first week at Yakwa.
Look, I'm very lucky to be the CEO of Yakwa. We're an organisation that I think works really hard to be innovative and dynamic, but I think that the best thing about working for Yakwa is working with young people and hearing young people's stories, because unfortunately I think that too often in our community we don't hear young people's stories. We often hear stereotypes or stories that are negative about young people, and I'm really lucky to hear stories from amazing young people doing amazing things across the state. Look, I think in 35 years what I would really hope is that Yakwa is a much larger organisation that has a lot more influence, but in particular has a lot more young people that are actively involved in all of the work that we do, and young people are driving the policy agenda in Western Australia, because I really think that young people have great ideas that need to be heard by decision makers.
I have a message for the Yakwa team. I've written down 3 of them, so I apologise. I'm going to have a look at my phone. Number 1, this is directly to most of the team. Your gluten-free, vegan, paleo food looks and tastes like compost. That's number 1. Stop buying it for people that come to your office. It's terrible. Number 2, we get it. You like circles and purple. Again, get over it. This is way too much of that. And number 3, I'm not saying he's hipster, but Craig moves into Leederville and then grows a big ass beard. If he turns up on a bike and serves tea in jars, I think someone needs to call for help. Craig, stop it.